And good evening, darlings. The play we're performing for you this evening on Theatre Guild on the Air is called, and I never could understand why, All About Eve. True, there is an Eve in it, and what a part that is. But there's also a glamorous and brilliant leading lady of the theatre whose true identity has been kept a secret too long. Tonight, darlings, tonight, baby intends to do something about that. So to get on with it, we raise the curtain on All About Eve. Adapted for us by Arthur Arendt and directed by Homer Beckett.
Hello. Permit me to introduce myself. My name is Addison DeWitt. I am a drama critic and columnist, which means I am essential to the theater, as ants to a picnic, or the boll weevil to a cotton field. The story properly begins one rainy night backstage at the Current Theater on Broadway. Seated in the Star's dressing room are Max Fabian, the producer, and Lloyd Richards, the author of Miss Margo Channing's current smash hit. The curtain has rung down, the last bows have been taken, as the door opens and Miss Channing enters.
Max, did you hear that applause, darling? Did you hear it? Lloyd, did you hear it? Oh, those curtain calls, those divine people, those divine people.
10 months the play runs, Margo, and we still got standees. And why? Because they come to see you, darling. You, the most talented, the most inspired.
Oh, thank you, darling. You're a wonderful producer, but let's not forget the play and the author.
Thank you, Margo.
True, there's always been that third act of yours, darling. It's lousy.
Oh?
A little pale, a trifle anemic, perishing on its feet, in fact.
No one else has ever noticed it?
Naturally, darling, I shan't let them. That's what I'm there for, to tie up the loose ends into an enchanting Christmas package, all pretty bows and ribbons, so that everybody will forget to look inside.
Now, just a minute.
But she's right. Third act. You slipped.
Ah, my angel, you've seen that ever since we opened, haven't you, Max? And that reminds me, Max, this publication, this so-called national magazine, whose advance copy for this month I have here. Look at it.
Margo, respect. 14 million circulation they got, and your picture's on the cover.
Max, you vowed, you swore, you gave me your solemn oath that you'd let me see the proof of that cover before it was printed. Where are your eyes, Mr. Fabian? Are these my features? I look as if I have an X-ray. Besides which, the way they misquoted me. Why am I always misquoted, Max? Answer me, little man. Stop. Where are you going?
Business, Margo, darling. I must go right away and telephone on business. Excuse me.
Yes, he'll telephone all right to his bookmaker. Well, Lloyd, how's the new play coming?
All right, I guess.
The lead, Cora, she's still a girl of 20?
20 years. It isn't important.
Well, don't you think it's about time it became important?
How do you mean?
Don't be evasive, darling. Lloyd, I'm not 20-ish. I'm not even exactly 30-ish.
Margo, week after week to thousands of people, you're as young as you want.
As young as they want, you mean. And I'm not interested in what thousands of people think.
No, just one person. The boyfriend, Bill.
Lloyd, Bill is 32. He looked at 5 years ago. He'll look at 20 years from now. Oh, I hate men. But don't worry, my friend. I'll play that part. I'll wear rompers and come in rolling a hoop if you like. Whatever happens, I will play that part.
Hi, Margo.
Oh, hello, Karen. I believe that's your husband sitting on my sofa. Take him home, will you, darling?
Lloyd, darling, I'm sorry to be late.
Well, think nothing of it. Bertie, come out of that bathroom. Tell me where you hid my hat.
It's on the floor under that junk just come from the cleaners. Say, you folks gonna stay a while or can Miss Channing get dressed?
That never stopped her before.
Margo.
Yes, darling?
I brought someone back to see you. One of your admirers.
If he's young enough to walk, send him in.
This is a girl. She's waiting outside.
Oh, dear.
Margo, she worships you. She's seen every performance. It's like something out of a book.
That book is out of print, darling. Those days are gone. Fans no longer pull your carriage through the streets. They tear your clothes off instead.
If you'd only see her, you're her whole life. You must have spotted her by now. She's always outside.
You mean kind of a mousy trench coat and funny hat?
Yes.
Well, how could I miss her every night, every matinee? Oh, all right, Karen.
Thanks, dear. I'll bring her in. Come in, Eve.
Oh, I thought you'd forgotten all about me, Mrs. Richards.
Not at all. Margo, this is Eve Harrington.
How do you do, my dear? How are you?
Hello, Miss Channing.
And my husband.
Hello.
Mr. Richards.
And this is my good friend and companion, Miss Bertie Coonan.
Hi.
Won't you sit down, Miss Harrington?
Eve, I was just telling Margo and Lloyd about how often you've seen the play,
yes,
and I...
Miss Channing, I've seen every performance.
Really? Every
Yes.
performance?
Then we can safely assume you like the play.
Oh, I'd like anything that Miss Channing played in.
Well, how very sweet.
I doubt you'd like her in the Hairy Ape.
Well, Mr. Richards, I believe it's part of Miss Channing's greatness, her ability to choose the best plays.
And there's so little to choose from these days.
Yes? Well, what about the author's problem? Whom can we get to play what we write?
Well, I understand that Hopalong Cassidy is looking for something.
Margo.
No, but I'm curious, Miss Harrington. Why have you come to see the play so often?
Well, if I didn't see the play, I wouldn't have anywhere else to go.
Oh, well, there are other plays.
Oh, no, not with you in them, Miss Channing.
Well, you must have some friends, a family, a home.
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
No.
You haven't? Well, then tell us all about it.
Miss Channing,
Yes, Bertie.
you're taking the boyfriend to the airport tonight, don't forget.
Thank you, Bertie. Miss Harrington, you were saying?
Well, it all started with your last play, Miss Channing. Remembrance?
Oh, did you see it here in New York?
No, I didn't. I saw it in San Francisco.
Oh.
I went one night, the most important night of my life. Well, anyway, I found myself going the next night, and then the next, and every performance. And then when the show went east, well, I went east, and... Oh, gosh, this couldn't possibly interest you.
Oh, but it does, really.
Suppose you start at the beginning, Eve.
Well, you see, Miss Channing, my father was a farmer in Wisconsin, and farmers were poor in those days, so I quit school and went out to Milwaukee. I got a job as a secretary in a brewery. But there was a little theater group in town, and...
Oh, I can imagine just what that meant to you, like a drop of rain on a desert.
Oh, yes. And you see, that's where I met Eddie. He was a radio technician. Just before the war came, we got married. Eddie went into the Air Force, and they sent him to the South Pacific.
Oh, you poor child.
Well, one week he wrote me that he had a furlough coming up, and I'd saved my money and all my vacation time, so I just went to San Francisco to meet him.
Uh-huh. Well, go on.
Eddie wasn't there. Only a telegram said that Eddie wasn't coming at all. That Eddie was dead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I just figured I'd stay in San Francisco, so I found a job, and his insurance helped me along, and then there were theaters in San Francisco, and one night Margo Channing came to play in Remembrance, and I went to see it, and, well, you see, here I am.
Hi, friends and lovers.
Bill.
Well, if it isn't Stanislavski.
Bill, were you out front tonight?
Listen, Margo, listen. In 47 minutes, my plane takes off. And how do I find you? Not ready, looking like a junkyard?
Thank you very much.
Listen, is this sabotage? Does my career in the cinema mean nothing to you?
A junkyard, am I?
My wonderful junkyard, baby. Think of the mystery and dreams you find in a junkyard. Kiss me.
I love a psychotic.
Now, look. Airlines have clocks even if... Why, hello. Who are you?
My name's Eve.
Hi,
Eve
Eve.
Harrington.
Hi.
Well, I tried to introduce you, darling, but you were so impulsive. Miss Harrington, too, is a great admirer of yours.
Imagine all this admiration in just one room.
What? Miss Channing, I guess I'd better be going. Miss Channing, Miss Richards, I'll never forget this life as long as I live.
Oh, now, don't go, Eve. I'll tell you what. We'll put a Stanislavski on his plane, huh? Then go somewhere and talk.
Oh, well, if I'm not in the way.
Of course not. Oh, come along, Bertie, darling. Press on. I've got to get dressed. Oh, Bill, what time do you get to Hollywood, huh?
10 a.m. Got any messages? Or what do you want me to tell Tyrone Power?
Just give me my phone number. I'll tell him myself.
For the next few weeks, Eve followed Margo around like a little puppy, one with a strong police dog strain. She became her sister, lawyer, seamstress, companion, psychiatrist, and cop. Soon she had moved into a little spare room in Margo's house, and she was always backstage.
Oh, Miss Channing, you haven't noticed my latest bit of interior decorating.
Well, you've done so much, Eve, I hardly recognize this poor little old dressing room. Oh, what's new this time?
Well, the curtains. I made them myself.
Oh, they're lovely, darling. Aren't they lovely, Bertie?
Adorable. We now got everything a dressing room needs except a basketball hoop.
Be quiet. Oh, Eve, it was very thoughtful of you, and I do appreciate it. I don't pay any attention to Bertie. No one does.